Hi, my name's Costas.
Hi, I'm Chris.
Welcome to the 46th episode of the Weekly Magazine. Yep, 46. And guess what?
What?
Last week
was the 45th.
No one got the mystery word.
No one got the mystery word?
It was difficult.
What was the mystery word, Cos? Put them out of their misery.
It was focus.
Focus.
Now, if anyone did get it and we missed it, please let us know.
Please let us know.
But as far as I can see, no one got it right. Didn't mention it that many times. Wanted to see how many times sort of it takes for someone to figure it out. I thought I made it obvious, but obviously it wasn't. So this week I have one for Chris.
Ooh, a mystery word that I've never seen before. Have a look. I might let you guys see. It is... Okay. Right. Okay.
This should be a bit obvious.
That's an interesting one.
Okay, now the once-overs. The first once-over is Screen Test by Steve Dimmer.
Our second once-over is Insomnia by Antonio Cacace? Cacace?
Something.
I don't know.
By Antonio.
There we go. And our blast from the past is Magic Box's Mad World by David Cushing.
As you can see, we're still bunged over.
We
are pushing through, trying to avoid having days off, so we're here.
Slaving away.
Now let's get on with this week's show. The first once over this week is Screen Test by Steve Dimmer. Let's watch a live performance we did earlier and we come back and discuss it.
We're going to talk about something that's very close to my heart.
Right.
The cinema.
Okay.
And movies. I love a good movie. In fact, we have a whole bunch of movies. We've got Clockwork Orange, I'll go through them. Back to the Future, one of my favorites. Grease, E.T., Titanic, Curse of the Werewolf, Rocky Horror Picture Show, James Bond film, Lawrence of Arabia, Jaws, Singing in the Rain, My Fair Lady, The Dam Busters, Usual Suspects, Carry On Film, Nightmare on Elm Street, and The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are different genres, different movies, and all sorts of random stuff. So what I would like you to do is I'm going to have you give these a good shuffle. But I am going to turn away for the entirety of this trick.
Right.
Right? So just so you know, I'm not doing anything, trying to peek. In fact, I'm going to turn away. Give them a shuffle, and then when you feel that they're thoroughly shuffled, not in a particular order, take one of the movies out and put the rest back in the envelope. Now, it doesn't have to be a movie that you've seen. It could be something you're curious about, or one that you have seen, or whatever. Okay. So once you've taken one out, put the rest...
Take one out and put the rest back in.
Yes.
What do I do with this one?
And then close the envelope, turn it over, make sure I can't see any of the other...
Okay.
Yeah. Now, as you can see, if you turn the poster face down, there's actually the list of the movies that we saw in the envelope. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to read them out, but they are in alphabetical order. So if you think they're in a specific order, if you could read them out in a random order, that it seems, doesn't have to be straight from the card. That's all I mean. They can be if you like, but whatever. Yeah. I will.
The Curse of the Werewolf, E.T., From Russia with Love, The Hound of the Baskervilles, Grease, A Clockwork Orange, Back to the Future, My Fair Lady, Lawrence of Arabia, Nightmare on Elm Street, Singing in the Rain, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Titanic, The Usual Suspects. I'm not sure if I've read them all. Have I read them all?
I think we're missing a couple.
Carry On, Follow That Camel.
Yeah.
And From Russia with Love, Hound of the Baskervilles, Jaws.
Okay, I think that's all right. Yeah, I think that's all of them. Okay, if some movies, some genres, like if you went to see an adventure movie, you might go to see it on the weekend.
Okay.
Or like if you saw a horror film, I would think I'd go and see that on a Friday night or something. Can you imagine what sort of day? Is it like an evening show? Is it a weekend show? Can you just think in your mind? Because I think, is it sort of an action film? Now don't say anything, because I don't want to think that I'm trying to fish for information. I think it's is it James Bond? Is it from Russia with Love?
Yes.
You just seen a live performance. Now all I can say is that this trick is that clean.
It really is. It really is. It really is.
It's a free choice from a spectator.
Yeah.
You don't need to look at anything.
Nope.
And you instantly know which film they chose.
Yeah.
The secret behind this is actually really, really clever.
Yes.
It's not...
Yes.
The core basis of the secret is not new, but the way he uses it and has adapted it is genius.
Yes, I totally agree.
It's definitely original to Steve Dimmer. And I'm really surprised. And I'm really surprised no one's actually thought of doing this before.
It's a secret hidden in plain sight.
Absolutely, and there's no memory work at all.
No, you pick up on everything you need to know once you open the packet, really, without knowing it.
Well, yeah, and
Once you look at the 17 different classic movie posters.
And okay, they do explain that if you want to be surefire and stuff, there is
There's sort of a cheat sheet for
there's,
you.
yeah, it's like a cheat sheet you can use. However, you'd be surprised how easy this is.
Yes.
Give yourself half an hour
Yep.
and
Just familiarize yourself with the cards. Because you've got from Clockwork Orange, you've got time travel movies, Back to the Future, one of my favourites. Russia with Love, E.T. phoned home from his planet and all that jazz. Usual Suspects, and I think these are this is the full set that you get. I don't think they've changed them. I think these, because this is sort of what they say. What I mean by that is that it's sort of a timeless piece, because these movies are already old. None of them are very, very current, but they are classic films.
yeah, they are classic films actually. So I suppose most people will be familiar with these films.
Yes.
When you talk to people about films nowadays, there's a lot of films people have no clue that they've been out in the cinema or they exist. Yeah. But all these films on here, they are classics, and most people recognise them. You know, who hasn't recognised Jaws or E.T.
Right, or
Hound of the Baskervilles and James Bond and all that kind of stuff, or Grease.
Absolutely.
So they are classic films, which helps a lot.
Yes.
Now, I've released a trick to show you how easy this is. I released a trick in the past called Food for Thought by Wayne Dobson. And with that, you have to know what all the fruit are. Now, the way it works, and this is sort of similar sort of
premise. Is that an easier way of saying
premise to your subconscious regarding remembering all the films.
Yeah.
Is that once you've gone through all the items, because there's only one of a kind, like one fruit, for example, that starts with a P, which is pizza, and E, which is eggs, and all that kind of stuff. You can go, for example, 6 months or a year, if not longer, without going through these cards and pick those up to do the trick. And straight away, your subconscious mind helps you remember exactly what all the items were.
Yes.
And the same with this. You go through all the films, and you cannot fail to remember that within the cards there is a Jaws, there's Grease, there's Back to the Future, the Towns of Baskerville. Now, I didn't learn this trick myself. No. However,
you did it quicker than I did.
just by watching, filming the live performance and watching the explanation and going through the cards once, I can tell you every single one of these films. Mm-hmm. And I did not practice it. I didn't even spend 5 minutes on this, really.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you exactly what all the films are. Yeah. And that's how easy it is. Now, okay, I'm used to memorizing stuff. I'm used to remembering things. And I'm used to these kind of tricks. However, if you're not used to these, give yourself half an hour.
Yeah, I mean,
you'd be a master.
These are iconic images as well. everyone can recognize A Clockwork Orange or, you know, E.T. and Jaws. So it's not like these. You'd be surprised how quick you can pick this up.
Well, there's a visual mnemonic with this as well.
Absolutely.
And I go back to the method behind this is so genius. I watched the trailer a couple of times and I had no clue what the method was. And part of me was a bit dubious and thinking, okay, there's something else involved here that I cannot see. So when I watched the explanation, I found the method, I thought to myself, this is genius. I haven't been caught out with a method like this for a long time because it's so simple, and I have to stop talking about this because I don't want to reveal what the method is, and I can't talk about the method. But all I can say is it's really clever.
And I love the fact that you give the postcards to your spectator, they do all the work, and you don't even have to look at them. You don't have to look at them. You give them the cards, they shuffle. There's no particular order that they have to be in. Oh, I love it.
I just say it again, the method is very genius. Did I say that? The method is genius.
Deja vu.
It will make you smile and you'll realise, now that's clever, that's easy.
Indeed.
So it gives my highest recommendation. I haven't come across a trick as good as this and as clean as this for a long time. Okay, it's not going to be for everyone.
No.
But also, let's go back, you can actually carry this with you.
Yeah.
You can carry it in your inside jacket pocket, so you can actually go around at a gig and do it every single table, every single group of people without a problem. And the great thing is the outcome's always different.
Yes, and that being said, that comes back to the instructional video. There are a lot of other routines, like sort of bonus ideas that you can do with this.
Oh yeah, on the trailer you would see a second phase where they choose a card and they call a number and your phone rings and it's
the theme tune to the one that they picked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we didn't do, but works just as well.
Yeah.
It's a slightly different method.
Yes.
But
being there are a lot of bonus ideas.
Peter Nard gives his way of performing, his
Yes.
take on the effect and stuff. But just the way that Chris performed it, which is the core basic routine,
Yep.
would impress everyone you perform it to. Yeah, fantastic.
Our second once over this week is Insomnia by Antonio Cacace. Let's have a look at the official trailer and have a talk about it afterwards.
2, 1, action. Here, that's magic.
Now you've just seen the official trailer for Insomnia. First of all, what a beautiful trailer. It's really pretty to watch, and
it's really nice.
it is really nice to watch. But taking it out the case and putting it in your computer and watching it, the tricks are also really, really beautiful to watch.
If there was a time where I wanted to really master something interesting and knuckle busting, I think I would dish this DVD out.
Yes.
And I would practice every single one of these effects.
That is a good phrase, knuckle busting. There's some tough stuff on here.
Now, that's not supposed to sound negative. Now, what I'm trying to say is the tricks on here are very visual.
Yes.
And if you can do them, you can do them at your strolling gig, performing at every group of people, no problem whatsoever. It's not one of these extreme XCM DVDs where they're not practical in the real world. Every single one of these tricks, they are practical, workable in the real world, would look fantastic in front of a camera, and still look fantastic performing live, but they are not easy.
Correct.
It's not one of these card DVDs where you're gonna
take it out, put it in, learn it, do it in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not one of those DVDs.
No.
It's something where you need to spend time.
It's a dedication DVD.
Yeah. However, like, there's a lot of people out there that love the challenge.
Absolutely.
And if you love the challenge,
this is a DVD for you.
You need it, because once you've learnt them, you will be actually using them.
Yeah, because I think it was either last week or the week before, about saying that card manipulation like that, we don't really find the need for.
Yeah.
But this is one of those that uses the card manipulation as a utility for the trick.
Well, it's like Visualize last week with Brandon Rodriguez.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, this is sort of on the same level, but just solely with cards.
Purely with cards, yeah.
And the stuff on there is really, really visual. What else can you say? It's not something I would want to put and go through and master, because I'm a lazy magician and I'm not going to spend time to learn anything new unless it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
But like Chris here, he will.
I'm going to try it.
He's got some stuff on there outlined that he wants to try out, and if you like that stuff and you like the challenge of learning something new, know that when you learn them, you will be using them.
Yes.
So it's not like card manipulations where you're learning them for the sake of learning them.
Yeah.
This, you are learning them for the sake of learning them, that also have the potential possibility of using them in the real world.
Yeah.
And as far as I can see, it's all new stuff. It's not like, you know, stuff you've seen before and it's just there's no point to this DVD. There's a lot of point to this DVD.
Yeah.
He's put a lot of effort into
7 great effects on here,
and it's really well explained as well. The production values are really, really impressive. They're really good.
And it takes you, because it's tough stuff. Sometimes you get instructors that will sort of fly through it. This takes it through you step by step and goes back over the routine from the beginning slowly. It's very well taught.
I don't think there's anything on here that I couldn't learn and master.
Right. Yes.
But that's if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to say, is that it takes time and effort into mastering these effects.
Yes. You need to want to do these.
But they're not complicated as such.
No, and that is quite nice. Like, they're visual for the sake of them being beautifully simple in a way.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
but
absolutely.
you have to spend the time to make them look that beautiful and clean.
Yeah, you got to learn the flow and the
Yes. Sort of the tempo of the trick.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And a lot of people know quite a lot of moves in Magic, you know, and you're just using those to learn this actually a bit quicker and slicker.
Yes.
It's not the standard double lift and, you know, do a pass type of thing. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But they are think most people will be able to perform every single thing on this DVD. It's just you need to put.
We can't emphasize enough.
Quite a bit of effort.
Yes.
But it's a joy to practice if you like that stuff. If you like going home after a hard day's work and sitting down and with a pack of cards in your hand in front of the TV and stuff, and you want to practice, then practice something from Insomnia.
Indeed.
As you say, Insomnia, you're not going to go to sleep once you start watching this, because you're going to want to master one of the effects at least. We didn't have a question for this week to answer. However, we have got one for next week. Now, we were curious. We were having a chat yesterday, and the question arose, and we stumbled a bit.
We did,
So we've got a question for everyone out there. Now, you go to a gig, you arrive, and you realise you forgot your close-up case. You got no playing cards. You basically got nothing on you apart from your wallet and your keys. There's no shops nearby to go and buy playing cards.
The most ultimate.
So you arrive at this gig. Now, what do you do? Of course, you can't say I forgot my stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I think I would struggle.
I would struggle.
I
would struggle.
Jake would struggle as well. So, but I've heard this before.
Curious.
I've heard Craig Petty go into a gig forgetting something and managed to do a whole gig without, having much on him. So there is things that you can do, but we're curious, what would you do? What effects would you do with what props? You go to this venue and you try and, what...
Would you accept defeat? Would you?
I
don't know.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't even do that, Jake. I can't even do the thumb finger thing. So that draws me doing that out. Going to every table and doing that. How do you do it? I don't know. I've got no idea.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I've never been able to do it.
You'd be lost.
I'll be lost. That's it.
Anyway, that's
a question for next week. So send in your answers and we'll read them out all next week. The Blast from the Past this week is Mad World by David Cushing, released by Magic Box. Let's watch a live performance Chris did earlier and we'll come back and discuss it.
We are going to do a card trick today that is going to be entirely up to you and all your choices. So if we're going to take out this pack of cards, and as we can see, they're not in any necessarily particular order. They are in a random order. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut the pack about halfway, and we're going to take one half of the pack, and that's going to be face down. We're going to take the other half of the pack, and that's going to be face up. Okay. Right now, this is where my part ends and your part begins. I'm just going to give these a nice little flowery twirl, just like that, look at that. And what I'd like you to do, in case you think that I would shuffle them in a particular order, just basically round them together as gently as you can. Just so they're slightly mixed, and it doesn't matter, that's the idea. Okay. I know, it doesn't matter if they go everywhere. That's fine.
Just in a random order.
Yeah, just in a random order, so we know that they're not like being pushed in specific. And this is where it gets a bit messy, because trying to put them back in a fairly... Oh, actually not doing too bad. Okay, so we have a pack that is shuffled fairly, like some of them, yeah, we're doing pretty well. In fact, let's use the Ace of Spades, and if we flip it over, we should have, in fact, let's get rid of the Jokers as well. Put those over there, and we'll use the Ace of Diamonds as well, right? So here's what we're going to do. This is entirely up to you. Now, it may seem a little complicated at first, but it gets very easy. So, if you will take a mental snapshot of those cards.
Right.
I know it doesn't... Your subconscious will pick on it more than your conscious will. So if you take a mental snapshot of that side of the pack, which cards are face up and which cards are face down, and if you take a mental snapshot of the ones that are on that side as well, just so you can see them all.
Okay.
Yeah? Yeah? Now, this is where it gets a little complicated, but it is up to you. I don't want to have any influence. We've got a black pile on this side and a red pile on this side. So some of the cards are going to be easy to tell which are red or black. obviously.
Yeah.
But some of them, like the face down cards, we don't know. So it's entirely up to you if the top card is red or black. And I'll leave this in your hands. So all I'd like you to do is take the top card. If you think it's red, if you think it's black, put it on which pile you think it is.
Take this.
Yeah, take it off and put it on a red pile or a black pile. Black. And we've got another face down card, so we're going to keep going.
God.
Go for it. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever you think. And now we've come to a point where we obviously know it's black, yeah, and we obviously know that's red.
I'm going to go through the whole pack.
Yes, we're going to go through the whole pack. Purely by intuition. I know it seems like random chance, but there was a reason why you did the snapshot at the beginning. More choices to be made. I don't know. What could it be? Oh, well, that's clearly black.
Oh, sorry, I got it.
No, I do it all the time as well. Yeah, I know. Black and red. Black and black and black and black and red. And now we're getting down to the last one, which we obviously know is going to be red. Okay, cool. Here we go. So that was pretty random, and you were laughing all the way through, so you have no idea.
No.
I have no idea. Okay, that's fantastic. That's how we like it. So obviously we can see that our face-up cards are all red. Yeah. And our face-up cards on this side are all black. So we've got our black pile and our red pile. But here's the interesting thing. The snapshot of the face-up cards and the face-down cards that you took at the beginning actually did influence your choice. Not consciously, but subconsciously, because we have to actually have a look. Turn these over. They're red as well. And the face-down cards on this side are also all black.
No way.
And that was up to you.
That's ridiculous.
Now you just watch Mad World.
Yeah.
There's Jake, he's laughing his socks. I don't know what he's laughing for.
Got the giggles going around.
I can't stop sneezing off camera. And this is an effect that got a surprising reaction.
It got a really surprising reaction.
Off camera, I stopped the recording before she actually said that was one of my favourite effects.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly really good.
It is. It's very sort of unique and bizarre. When I took it out, I hadn't seen anything like it on this planet. It was like the weirdest like combination of a couple I thought it was a certain trick, and then I was like, no, that's different, that's not the same. And then I didn't know what to think.
I read through the instructions ages ago, but because you need to do something to the deck,
yeah,
I didn't do it. I didn't play around with it. And reading the instructions, to me, I was saying to myself, this is a so what trick. What's the point?
Right, yeah, what is
you
the point?
have to do this, that, and you know, what for? However, looked at it again, and we thought, no,
Let's try it. Let's try it.
On paper, it's one of these effects that until you've performed it, you realise how strong this really is.
Yeah, you have no idea until you put it in front of someone.
And also, when you go to perform it, when you play around with it, or practice it, shall I say, you realise it's actually much easier than what you think when you first read the instructions.
Absolutely.
So it was a bit daunting at the beginning.
Do not be fooled when you pull the cards out of the box and go, oh, that's what this is. Because it is a lot simpler than what you will expect.
It's once you've set it up and you start learning it, you realise actually this is much simpler than what you initially think by reading.
Yes.
And when you go to perform it, you get such a reaction that you would love performing this.
I agree. When we did it to Rachel, I was like, okay, I could see myself using this now. That was the defining thing.
And we come across these type of effects quite often, only because we look at some effects and we think, no, that's not going to work in the real world. But when you perform them, you realise, no, this trick is completely different to what I initially thought it was.
Yeah. pleasantly surprised.
And the reaction you get with this, I said this a few weeks ago. I cannot say anything negative about it because of the reaction it got.
Exactly. We may have had a sort of trepidations beforehand, but it's the reaction that tells you how good the trick is, really, doesn't it? Yeah.
And the great thing is, there's a discrepancy.
Well, there's a massive discrepancy.
Yeah, there's a massive discrepancy. But, okay, many people watching the performance would not notice it.
Yeah.
The layperson would have no clue there's a discrepancy.
Nope.
But, so I had to smile to myself when Rachel said that, that's one of the best effects she's ever seen.
Yeah.
Knowing that there's a discrepancy.
It was right in front of her face.
It's beautiful. It's actually really nice.
It's another one that I quite like, that sort of the magician does nothing, in a sense.
No, the magician doesn't. Once the spectator deals all the cards into 2 piles, that's all the magic done. The magician doesn't have to do anything. It's a genuinely free choice which pile to place the cards. Okay, all the face-up black cards and all the face-up red cards go in the relevant pile, but all the face-down ones, they've got a free choice of where it goes.
Yeah.
And it's so simple. It's actually really clever. Yeah. It's really nice. What else can you say? It works. And I don't think a lot of people would have known about this effect.
No, I didn't. I had no idea.
Again, it's one of these Magic Box releases that they probably sell loads in the shop when it's demoed and stuff. But throughout other magic shops, it's one that's probably just sitting on the shelf or not stocked at all, and we've got a few of these. And
a hidden gem on our shelf.
I thought, no, we'll have to do this because it is good.
I agree.
It is good. And if you like that out of this world type of effects,
out of your hand, out of this world.
And it's virtually self-working.
It is, yeah. Once
the first couple of seconds is over.
Exactly, it is. It can be pretty much done entirely in their hands.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The reset's not that difficult.
No, it's just sorting.
It takes 15 seconds, I would say.
Yeah.
If that to reset.
Yeah.
And once you're really familiar with the setup of this effect, the reset becomes much more
a lot quicker.
A lot quicker and easier to do. And it's actually, once you put the cards together type thing, it sort of resets itself, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does, yeah. Once you get to your beginning, you're ready to do it again.
Yeah. And it's quite nice. No, I actually like this. It's Mad World by David Cushing. It's a great job. Okay, this week we discussed Screen Test by Steve Dimmer. Now, I'll be surprised if Alakazam don't release a few different versions of this.
Yeah.
Because it's so clever. And do you know what?
Absolutely.
If you want something different that's not card related, coin related, or how shall I say it, normal mentalism type magic.
Right, it's very unique in a sense.
Screen Test is going to be a fun effect for everyone to perform. I'll be surprised if there's anyone that buys Screen Test that doesn't use it.
Agreed.
I think it's one of Alakazam's best releases of late.
Yes, I agree.
I'm not criticising their previous releases.
No.
I'm just saying that Screen Test, it's
so clean and in a sense visual.
And the method is genius. So,
and I'm sure they will. There's tons of movies on this planet. I'm sure that they will come out with
or even
versions.
something non-movie related, something else. I don't know.
Oh yeah, good point. Anyway, we did Screen Test and we did Insomnia by Antonio Cacace. Again, visual, time and dedication needed to be put into this, but well worth it.
And Mad World, which is the blast from the past.
Indeed. Which is just as you saw. Very, very simple, clean, in the spectator's hands.
It's a great effect. If you like packet tricks and stuff, okay, you can't use this for anything else.
No, it's a standalone trick.
It's a standalone trick. However, thousands of people out there that like that type of magic.
Indeed.
So that's Mad World.
Yeah.
Now until next week, have fun. Bye.